Georgia, New Year's Eve. Again, we won't be on again before that. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, there's no way around it. Georgia is number one for a reason. Georgia is – I mean, dude, they haven't lost in 2 years, basically. I mean, Georgia is just at this point – it seems like it's going to be a tall task for Ohio State to go in and beat Georgia. Georgia's going to have more of the home crowd, obviously. That's how they do it for the top seeds. They're going to give them more of a home field, especially the 1 seed. What are your thoughts going into this game? I mean, I'll be real with you. My expectations are not that high. Like, we're here, have a chance, but I'm not like, okay, we're going to, like, come out and steamroll them and win this game. Like, what are your expectations?
I think they're about the same as the national championship game against Alabama. Like, Georgia doesn't have the offense that Alabama team had. But I kind of have the same feeling going into this game. Like, we have a shot. We need things to happen throughout the game. And Coach Strix used to say it when we played football. There's 5 plays in a football game that can win or lose you a football game. If Ohio State comes on top and they win those 5 plays or 3 of those 5 plays, I think they come out on top. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a blowout either. I think the biggest thing for me, and I've said this with friends I've talked to and really anyone I've talked to about this game, it's not that I don't think Ohio State can't win, because I do believe we can win this game. I find it hard to believe, personally, that Michigan's our biggest rival. It's the biggest game for us every year. That's the game where that means a lot to us as fans and Ohio State players and coaches. The fact that Michigan plays a similar style to Georgia, and in my mind, Georgia is a better version of Michigan and what they do, that we're going to be able to beat them, it's hard for me to believe that, because I don't believe Michigan's as good as Georgia. I don't. I think Georgia truly is – they're one for a reason. Kirby Smart has built what we might say is the next dynasty in college football. We saw it with Alabama for a while. I think Georgia might be that. I find it hard that we're going to be able to beat Georgia. I do, because the physicality. It's not that we can't hang in there. We did against Michigan. We hung in there. The second half, though, and I have a similar feeling we'll be able to keep it close, but maybe that fourth quarter, man, is when Georgia shows that they're just a better team. Because for us, we're not a trenches team. That's not what we're built on. We're not built to go like double tight end sets and wear you down running the ball. Like, that's not what we are. We struggle with those teams, and it's hard to just make that adjustment. I get we've had a month. It's hard to make that adjustment and all of a sudden be able to deal with that if your team isn't built that way. So I just don't think we're gonna end up winning this game. I don't. I hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, great. I hope I am. But
oh man, I was wrong.
Crap, dude. I was wrong. Ohio State beat Georgia. Man, that's awful. No, but I mean, again, and it's not being negative. I mean, you have, like, you're a fan, but when we talk about this, dude, I'm gonna be realistic with people. I am, just like I am with the Browns. Dude, when we pick the Browns games every week, I pick them to lose half the games. I do, because that's just what I see right now. So, in this game, who needs to have a big game for the Buck outside of Harrison? I think he's going to get his. Who needs to have a big game for the Buckeyes to not only win, but let's say to keep this game close?
I think to keep this game close, it comes down to the defense. And the defense is going to start with Tommy Eichenberg. So I think Tommy Eichenberg has to have the game of his life to this point. I truly do. He's going to be the guy that's going to be stopping the run. He's the guy that's going to be in the middle of the field when Georgia's running crossing routes, or he's going to be the one picking up that 6'10" tight end that they have. That's You know who I'm talking about? The 6'10", 300-pound tight end.
Yeah, dude, Anderson. The dude's 6'8", like 240.
No, is his name Washington or something?
Darnell Washington. My bad. Darnell Washington. The dude is 6'8", 240. Oh, but wait, he's not even the best tight end they have.
No, I know. He's their second best tight end.
Bowers is goodness.
So yeah, I think it's going to start with the linebackers, and it's going to trickle down to the secondary. We cannot give up big plays against Georgia. Cannot. That would kill us because Georgia does not hit big plays very often. They are not a big play team. Mm-hmm. You see it when they play Kentucky 16-6. You see it when they play Tennessee. They actually got big plays against Tennessee, and they just blew Tennessee out. Like, if you can keep – they had a tight game with Missouri. They had a tight game with Kent State. Like, these are teams that prevented big plays and kept it close. So if the defense can do that, if they can do what they didn't do against Michigan and keep everything contained, whether it's 5 yards here, 4 yards here, 6 yards here, everything in front, I think we have a really, really, really good shot because I think CJ Stroud is going to be next level in this game. I think there's something about thinking your season's over. You think you just lost the game of your life. You don't think there's any hope for you to at redemption, and you sit at home for a week and you watch college football on the couch, hoping, and then you walk in there on Sunday and your team's in the top 4 and you have one more shot at greatness in college football. I think this is CJ Stroud's moment. So I think when
I like that.
Those lights come on Saturday, or whatever day it is, New Year's Eve, when they come on New Year's Eve, you know CJ Stroud's going to come to play. But that defense, they look good this year. We had questions all year long. It's just going to be, can they limit the big plays? Can they force turnovers, which they're not super good at?
Mm-hmm.
And can we keep Georgia off the board? If we can limit them to field goals, Ohio State's taking this one home. But that's what's going to come down to. It's going to be the defense. I think Ohio State's offense is going to be there. I think they will.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's on the defense for sure. I'm going to go with a different unit. I'm going with the defensive line. Georgia is really physical at the point of attack. You need guys like Zach Harrison. You need JT, Jack Sawyer. You need all these guys on the interior. They got to be ready. It's going to be – you have to make it to where they cannot allow these Georgia offensive linemen to get up to the second level. Because if they can get up to the second level, Georgia's just going to have a field day running the football. They are. Georgia has a stable of running backs as they have every single year. It seems like in our lifetime, they just have a stable of running backs. You cannot allow those offensive linemen, those tight ends, to get to the second level. If they do, we have no chance in this game. And I absolutely mean we have no chance in this game. Washington, Bowers, not only really like good tight ends for Georgia, they're two of the best tight ends in the whole country. They can block. Brock Bowers, is already probably a top 10 pick. Like he's that talented as a tight end. Like he's special. The dude's a sophomore. Loaded right there. I think what you have to do, it's not easy. You got to find a way to get some pressure on Stetson, Bennett, and rattle him. It's not easy because the guy's been through it all, literally. I mean, he's old. You have to find a way to get pressure on him. But then the other thing is, if you do, you better find a way to contain him because he can run. So on the offensive side of the ball,
Travion's on. Yeah,
Mayan Williams.
Travion's
I'm gonna go with your guy. I'm gonna go with Mayan Williams in this one. I think Mayan Williams needs to have a big day. You cannot rely solely on CJ Stroud. I feel like that'd be easy to do in this game. Just let him play pitch and catch with these wide receivers. I want to see how CJ handles himself. This is the type of game that could really – you know what? I'm not going to say that. One game normally is not – as I've heard NFL draft analysts say, one game does not affect your draft stock. I need to see him play very well against Georgia. I do. So I hope you're right. I hope he plays well. So now comes the moment of truth. Before we predict that game, since we're not going to be on again, the other semifinal matchup, TCU and Michigan. Who do you think wins that game?
Michigan. Well,
do you think it's close? Do you think it's close?
Yes, I do.
You don't think it's over 10 points like the spread basically is at this point?
TCU knows how to stay in games. I don't understand it. I don't think TCU is great, but they stay in games, and they've done it all year. Even the games they've lost, the one game against Kansas State, they were in it until the very last play. So I think it comes down to one score. So
okay,
Michigan's going to win, but one score game.
Yeah, I will say TCU has a pretty good defense. That said, I think Michigan will win this game. I think they'll cover. I think they'll cover the spread in this one. I think they win by double digits. Let me see. I'll look it up real quick because last time I checked, it was 9.5, and I thought it went up to 10. So I want to see real quick. TCU versus Michigan spread, because if it's double digits, it's very difficult to want to pick that. So, okay, it's changed. 7.5. They'll cover that.
I'll take the under.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens there. Now the moment of truth. Ohio State versus Georgia. Not only who wins, but what's the score?
It's a tie, and they take it, and then they combine Georgia and Ohio State in the national championship game against Michigan. I think it's going to go to overtime. Ohio State wins on a 2-point conversion in the second overtime. 42.
Whoa.
40, what would it be? 46-45.
Wow. Wow. Okay. No defense whatsoever in this game. Okay. Oh, well, I like the optimism. It's a good thing you went first. So I think Georgia's going to win this game.
Yeah, me too.
I just don't see. Again, it'll be close. I feel like we're going to wear down though in that fourth quarter. I got Georgia 38. Georgia 38, Ohio State 31.
I think we give up 38 in regulation.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I
feel like the defense is going to wear down, dude. I
know I just predicted a score of 46-45, but I think, honestly, I do think that this is not going to be super high scoring. I think it's between both teams, it's under 45.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it will be pretty low scoring, just because Georgia hasn't put up a whole lot of points against good opponents this year. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to watch it for sure.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good game. Before we wrap up,